From Boise to Middleton, the 5A and 4A Southern Idaho conferences feature 20 of the largest schools in Idaho. Highlighting the big plays and big stories from Idaho's biggest schools, this is the SIC Prepcast with Wayne Dzubak.
That's right. Welcome in another edition of the SIC Prepcast on IdahoSports.com, breaking down everything in the 5A, 4A Southern Idaho Conference ranks. Brandon Baney back with Wayne Dzubak. Wayne, it's been a couple of weeks since we've last seen you or heard from you. You doing okay still?
Yeah, I just kind of went into hibernation, a little bit late, but I did. And all of a sudden the sun came out, but I understand Eastern Idaho got a little snow, but over here in the valley, it's been really nice. So I just got out, mowed the lawn a little bit, worked in the flower bed. And all of a sudden you called me up and said, hey, we need you to get back to work. So here I am.
That's right. So yes, we wanted to continue the Prepcast through the spring sports season because, spring sports are important too. They're just as important as what's going on in the fall and winter. Now, these Prepcasts will be a little shorter. Instead of 25, 30 minutes, maybe 10 to 15. And we're just going to cherry pick a couple of topics each week because there's so much going on, Wayne. There's baseball, softball, track and field. There's tennis. There's golf. I mean, there's so much. There's lacrosse even, which is a club sport. There's so much stuff going on that, to cover all of it each week, we'd be here for like 3 hours. So what we're going to do is pick out what we think are the biggest stories and bring those to you each and every week. And fittingly enough, Wayne, our very first spring sports Prepcast, our top story is a basketball story.
What do you say? What do you do? Huh?
Right. The news came out recently that longtime Mountain View girls basketball coach Connie Skogrand is retiring.
She has done such a great job, and everybody that tweeted out, there were so many tweets. If you live in the Twitter sphere, you see that everybody was just congratulating her on a great career, what she did. I've known her forever. I've been covering sports in this market since 1982, and she's been around, and we've had a good time just talking about things. Whenever I've asked her for an interview, even if it's just at the spur of the moment, she has said, sure, let's go, let's get her done. She's been so great to work with, and hate to see her go. She's been just a great example of what coaching should be here in the Valley. And she's, she spent her last years at Mountain View, where she had, state championships, and Destiny Slocum was with her. And this year was a struggle for her. And I was surprised she, on the one hand, retired this year because so many injuries, so many problems, and Mountain View just kind of fell off the face of the map. But, Connie said, you know what, that's okay. I've done enough stuff and accomplished enough in my life that we can retire now. And she is definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, she has been awesome. 19 years at Mountain View, 34 years in coaching period, which, is becoming more and more difficult. We saw it in football, Wayne, where there was this huge turnover of all these longtime football coaches in the SIC that are moving on, and these younger coaches are coming in. But, more and more coaches are getting burnt out earlier because of added pressure from parents and from administrators. Even, coaching today is a lot different than it was back when Connie started.
Oh, completely, and it's really funny that you see all these coaches. I've had an opportunity to work with all of them. In fact, I had really kind of a surprise when I was doing the 5A championship game in basketball out at the Fort Idaho Center. At halftime, they had a Legends team come out, and it was the 1983 Meridian Boys men's basketball team, and they honored them as Legends of the game. And I looked over at Paul Kingsbury, our guru boss, who was sitting next to me, and I said, I called that game. So what's that make me? I called those guys way back in 1983 because, like I said, I started here in 82. So I called that championship game. So I guess I just have to hang in there. And while everybody else retires, I can retire from certain things, but I just keep adding to my plate. And that way I'm around.
It's like Survivor, Wayne. You're not getting voted off the island yet.
Exactly. I'm not off the island. But the point is that, you said Connie's been around for 34 years. I've been around all of those 34 years, and she's been part of my, business life and interviewing her on many, many occasions. So we're going to miss her. And I know she did a great job. And I know everybody that was coached by her loved what she had to say.
Definitely. And just the sheer number of players that she was able to get to that college level is really impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Division I all the way down to NAI. It's been very impressive. So congratulations on a great career to Connie. longtime girls basketball coach for Mountain View. So now let's actually get into spring sports and the spring sports.
Forward.
Yes, that's right. We'll spring forward. It is a big weekend where you're at, Wayne, in the Boise Valley, because you have not one but two humongous spring break tournaments. On the softball side, you have the annual Win the Pitch tournament, WTP tournament. It's hosted by several different schools. And then on the baseball side, you've got the Bucks Bags Spring Classic. The Bucks Bags Spring Classic is going to feature over 30 teams, and it's going to feature 8 different schools hosting. Bora, Boise, Bishop Kelly, Capital, Owyhee, Valley View, and Skyview are all kind of teaming up to host this big event. There's going to be 5A teams from up north and from the east coming over, 4A schools from the north and east coming over. It's really a good mixer, if you will, to get everybody all in one place for a weekend.
Yeah, as long as I can remember, Bucks Bags has been sponsoring that tournament, and they do a great job with that. And you get great teams. You mentioned Skyview as one of the hosts. Hey, Skyview up to a 7-0 season, Brandon. Unbelievable. You mentioned BK. BK's off to a 5-0 record. So unbelievable. But it's going to be fun to see. In 5A baseball, we talked a little bit about Centennial and Rocky Mountain at 4-1. BK 5-0. You got Middleton at 5-2. But this is all those teams are going to be there, and this is now going to give us a real good idea of what they can do and where we are and how they shape up with the teams from up north and from everywhere.
Yeah, if you're not at this tournament, you better be doing something really big. And I know on the baseball side, Mountain View is competing at a tournament in the Phoenix area down in Arizona, and Columbia's baseball team, they're out in California right now, Wayne, playing schools from like Anaheim and Irvine and places like that out in Cali. So
what's funny, you think they do that because of the weather here, but this weekend for the Bucks Bags, I have been here when it's been raining like a banshee, and this weekend is sunny and it's going to be in the 70s, low 70s all weekend. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's going to be that way. And so the weather couldn't be better. But I mean, I think Bucks Bags deserves it, because I remember just even last year, I think it was, or the year before, I mean, it was like, okay, we're going to play in between the rain showers. Not this year.
Yeah, that can throw a wrench into the schedule when you're talking about these big tournaments. And then on the softball side, the Win the Pitch tournament, Capital, Eagle, Meridian, Ridgeview, and Valley View are teaming up to host this. So Capital and Valley View are hosting not just softball, but baseball. They're doubling up. So big kudos to Capital and Valley View for having the facilities to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, and it's great. And it's really exciting because this is really the first, this is the first Prepcast we've done about spring sports, but really, in reality, while some have played a few games, this is really the start of spring sports right now. We're really getting going here at the end of March, getting into April. So they got the end of March, all of April, and the month of May as huge months. This is when they get it really done. So it's going to be fun to follow them all the way through.
Yeah, to a lot of spring sports fans, this weekend kind of marks the first official weekend when everybody really starts tuning in. And along with that, we're rolling out our spring sports previews on IdahoSports.com. On Monday, we had a lacrosse preview. Yesterday, Tuesday, we had track and field. Wednesday, as soon as we're done with this, Wayne, I'm going to be putting the state tennis preview up on the website. Thursday is going to be baseball. Friday is going to be softball. So check back to IdahoSports.com for all of your spring sports preview coverage this week on the website as well. It's going to be a good time. So
yeah, and I appreciate that, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of places don't give you that kind of coverage. So unlike football and basketball, where you can maybe go to the newspaper in the morning and get all the information, don't have that luxury. So go to IdahoSports.com. And I know that's where I go, because I get all that stuff and then I follow up with it once I see what's going on and who's doing what. Because already we've had, a great shot put by Jackson Beck of Mountain View. You mentioned it. You're talking about, you mentioned it to me earlier this week, threw it 52 feet, 7.5 inches, which is a new Mountain View record and the best, throw in Idaho, albeit early this year. So, I mean, that's cranking it out early. So congratulations to Jackson Beck of Mountain View with that shot put throw.
Yeah, last weekend was kind of the opening weekend for track and field. And yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Jackson Beck, new school record. It's the top throw in 5A right now as well. A kid from Skyline's got him beat for the state lead right now, 53 feet. But I'm sure Jackson will surpass that by the time the season rolls on. And track and field, Boise, Rocky Mountain, both look really strong again.
Well, the girls, obviously, you got Boise. They just dominated the state track meet last year, and they're the defending 5A state champs. And they're not only back, but they are back like their entire 4x800 relay team is back, except for Samantha Smith right now, who's out skiing. And you were telling me she's cross country skiing, and she's really at a high national level.
Yeah, so Marlo Herford wrote our state track and field preview, and she's really tapped into the track and field scene. And if you haven't read that state track and field preview, go to IdahoSports.com. It's right there on the homepage. But yes, Samantha Smith, she was one of 24 skiers to represent Team USA at the FIS Junior and U23 World Cross Country Ski Championships in Ligna, Norway. That's a really high honor, and that's so awesome. But she's been skiing, so she's going to be back with the team right now over spring break, kind of build back up, because when you're a distance runner, it's almost like being a pitcher in baseball. You got to build up to it a little bit. And once she gets back, I mean, they're going to be really awesome. Her older sister, Logan Smith, is, from what I understand, not doing track this year. She's going to Stanford to play soccer, and she's going to play club soccer this spring instead of running for track. So they'll take a hit there. But Samantha Smith is an awesome distance runner.
Well, and she's not going to have to try to get back in shape too hard. Have you ever tried cross-country skiing? That is one unbelievably tough sport. So I'm sure she's going to be in pretty good shape. But, so are the Boise girls. They'll be there. The other thing, what's going to be interesting this year is you got the Boise and Rocky Mountain boys. They kind of really fought it out for the state championship last year, with Boise winning at 88-83, so only 5 points separate them. Well, they've got a dual meet coming up on April 1st, Boise against Rocky Mountain, and that'll be the first time this year we get to see what happens, because Rocky Mountain lost 6 medalists to graduation, which I guess if you're in high school, that's good news that they graduated, rather than, they're back for a 6th season. That doesn't happen. It happens in college, but not in high school, or not supposed to anyway. But it's going to be interesting on April 1st, and that'll be our first real indication of some contenders for the 5A championship.
For sure. And on the 4A side for the SIC, two names to keep an eye on the track and in the field this year. Bishop Kelly, James Onanubosi. He is so fast. He is so great in the short sprints, runs the relays, explosive athlete. And from Emmett Wayne, Landon Helms. He's already committed to Texas A&M. The Aggies down in the SEC for track. He is a pole vaulter and a hurdler. He's the defending 4A state champ in the 110 hurdles and the pole vault. And he, by the way, holds the Idaho state record in the pole vault at 15 feet 6 inches.
So there's so much to look forward to. The only thing I'm going to miss from this year, and I got to mention him, is Nathan Green from Bora. I mean, you're a guy that up there, so we'll have to keep an eye on the Huskies track and field team. But here's a guy who at the last state meet set the record, all classifications in the 3,200 meter and the 1,600 meter runs. Something else again, but he was a 3-time Gatorade Idaho Runner of the Year, and he's gone. And I'm sure everybody that's competing against Bora is very happy that Nathan Green is gone. But the problem is we're going to miss watching him run. We'll just have to watch at a different level.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of great athletes in the Treasure Valley. And so, like we said, there's so much going on that we're not going to be able to hit it all every week. So here's what I want our listeners and viewers to do. If there's a team or an athlete or a story that you think isn't getting enough coverage and you want us to talk about it on the Prepcast, please send us an email, Brandon@IdahoSports.com or Wayne@IdahoSports.com. And drop us a line, because we want to get as many of these great stories and features about these great athletes out there as we can.
Like I said, if you're one of those parents who complains in the morning and say, you know what, my son had a great performance last night at the track meet, didn't make the papers. We didn't hear anything about it. Part of that, a little bit is on you. Go ahead, like you said, Brandon at IdahoSports.com, Wayne at IdahoSports.com, and then put the onus on us and let us go out there and get it not only on the air on this podcast, but also on our website at IdahoSports.com. That's what it's all about. We want to be there for you. We got you covered. Isn't that what we say?
That's right. That's the slogan. That's
been. I slipped that puppy in there, baby.
You're a good company man, Wayne. That's for sure. So, hey, that was a good opening spring sports Prepcast. We're going to do this each and every week, 10 to 15 minutes, talking about the big stories. So, one down, several more to go for Wayne
I was just going to say, and we're going to have a lot more information because it's just getting started. It's not that we didn't touch on it. It's just that we're just now at the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see you next week. Enjoy the great competition and the beautiful weather over there in the Treasure Valley this week. For Wayne Dzubak, I'm Brandon Baney. We'll see you next time on Idaho Sports.